Turing, why don't we move on to segment number 2 and talk about the Javelin and the Bengal?
You want to talk about the C2 and M2
Do
first?
we do this? I thought we did talk
hold on
about
a
the
second.
C2 and M2, right?
All right.
We
I've flown
can?
both. I have both to fly. I own an A2. They gave me an M2, and I have a C2 because of some other damn ship I have, but whatever. They gave me a C2. Magnificent ships. Highly recommend them. I know they're pricey, but if you want to move cargo, with a little bit of protection, I highly recommend these two ships, or the three ships once the A2 comes out. Wait and see how that goes. They maneuver fantastically. I expect a nerf of some sort, because to be honest, they're just too darn good as we speak. Very simple move around. They're not like that's damn ass Genesis or even worse, the Caterpillar. You get right to the cockpit, no problems, real quick, easy to go, easy to move around, a lot of cargo space. I loaded up 2 tanks and a Ursa today on an M2 that Drake Steele was flying, and we did an op. It was great. I really love the darn thing. They're very sturdy. I do advise them whatsoever.
Jolly, I'm sure you've walked through a C5 before, either on like an
Anytime.
air show or for work.
Getting deployed.
And deployed. When I flew it and I opened up both doors, that's the first thing it reminded me of, is walking through a C5 at an air show. It's very impressive. I love the way the front doors had that sort of clamshell opening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally reminded me of that. I could see some of the design cues. I really like that ship. I was in the M2 with the space for the Marines and the armory and whatnot. I got to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to want that ship like for me to use in game, but I just want the ship because it's cool.
The ladder you have to take up to the top deck is just like the C5, where you take the ladder up to the top deck to the crew compartment up there. My one big issue with it is the visibility. The visibility out the front. It's almost like Crusader built the entire ship, and they outsourced the windscreen to MISC. Okay, because you get this mail slot of a look ahead, and that comes courtesy of Croker, by the way. I did not make that one up, but I think they could have done better if they would have kept the MSR front end and made it just a little bit larger, or give us a little bit of look down capability of some sort, because you don't have you can't see when you're landing. It's something that you're going to have to be intuitive to be able to know how far forward you are. And just like a lot of those ships, the Constellation, the Caterpillar, all these, you're not as far up as you think you are when you're flying the C2. But otherwise, it's a fantastic ship. I'm a little bit disappointed with the interior space up top, and then the elevator access. I love that. It's great, and I'm glad they eventually fixed the fact where you have the button to send it back up. The last thing I'll say about it is the tilt. If you don't watch out, that thing will tilt, either one way or the other. And if you're going to drop the ramps, drop both the ramps to make the ship stable. But
I have to agree with your point on the visibility, Turin. You're absolutely right. I've never had to land a ship at Evers Harbor by going to F4, and with that ship, I do. Make sure I squeak just into the hangar itself. But you're spot on.
Well, I hope when they've talked about adding RALT and a compass, and I'm hoping when they add RALT that the radar altimeter will be to the landing gear's distance to the ground, so it'll help you land a bigger ship like that.
Yeah, well, it would be nice to have some sort of, at least indicators or something that if you're getting too close to the sides for especially, it's got those fins out that come out the back. Again, you're not as far forward as you think you are. If you're dropping into Lorville, I guarantee you probably for the first time you're going to catch those those fins on the back, and you're just going to tilt right down because you don't think you're as far forward as you really are.
Have to agree.
Are we done with the C2?
Yes.
I had one thing to say about talking about the C2 and the M2, right?
Yeah.
Everything else you guys covered what I think. The only other thing is the arbitrary number of crew limit. C2 has 2 seats, 2 bunks, The M2 has an extra seat up in the cockpit behind the pilot, where otherwise it's just empty, unused space. There's another equally unused space to the right behind the co-pilot, and they put in a third bunk in a space that's otherwise unused in the berthing. There's no reason this ship can't have 4 seats up in the cockpit and 4 in the berthing, because people could be doing engineering things, other purposes. It's just, I don't know why they have to arbitrarily have to have that difference. It doesn't make any sense.
Are you talking about troop seats in the M2?
No, I'm talking about the actual crew up front. I mean,
Talking about the
because
cockpit.
you got 4 crew seats and a freelancer.
Which 2 are
Yeah.
never used.
Right, you don't. But I'm saying is, but you could potentially here. You might have an engineer managing components.
If you need 4 people to run a freelancer, you're in trouble.
But you know what I'm saying. It just seems, especially when there's like they just got these filled in spots for where the bunks would be in the berthing.
Yep.
Yeah, the comparison doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Well,
think
maybe
that
they're going to put components behind there.
But
No.
why? Yeah.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah. Right.
I agree. It's silly.
Yeah, I think only 2 crew members for the C2 is actually too low. I think it's too low. I think you've got to have you have an engineer. I mean, let's go ahead.
At a minimum.
If you're going full immersion with these things, which is the way CIG is going, multi-crew, everybody's got a job. You know, that second banana on that C2 is going to be really, really busy because he's got to be able to run. He's flipping back and forth between two turrets. You know, and then oh my God, what happens if there's something in the engine room? Okay, hold on, give me 15 minutes, I'll be right back, because it's all the way in the aft part of the ship. So I think they did themselves a disservice, just like what you say, Nam. I mean, they have the space. The space is there in the crew component. You put 4 people on the C2, you put 4 people on the M2, and you call it a day. You know, I don't know why they did it the way they did it.
I completely agree. So, Hawk, what are your thoughts?
You know, the artificial limitation of the crew just comes off as a little weird, because there's that space there, and they haven't always been the best about using available space in ships. But for the direct comparison between the two, for it to just be like, oh, look, a new bed appeared and a chair appeared, and that's kind of the big difference. It comes off a little odd. It definitely doesn't seem as well thought out as some of the other things they've done.
Comes off rushed.
It does.
Comes off a little bit rushed.
And just doesn't make any sense. Well, let's move on to the Javelin and the Bengal turn. What are your thoughts on, we've seen the Javelin at a distance before now.
Yeah. So this time for Invictus Week, we're treated to a little extra flyby by the Bengal, which we haven't seen. You saw the Javelin at the Xeno Threat event, and then this year you actually get to go and tour it. I have not toured it yet. I'm saving that for tomorrow when we go as a big gaggle to go see it. But from what I hear, it's a little bit disappointing on the interior side. So I don't know. Can we bring up the slides? Cycle that through and show everybody. I don't know, Jolly. I know you've been through it and you've seen it.
There, this is what you run across: a garden in front of a place I want to go. And it's like, God dang it, get the hell out of my way, let me in there and see what the hell's there. I don't know if CI it's not done yet. I'll assume. It's like, great job of running around and looking at the recreation area. The hell's
The
that
mess
damn
hall,
game?
like the
mess hall,
yeah.
Birthing. It's like, hey, that's nice. You can talk to the crew members. They'll engage with you and stuff like that. But I was so unimpressed. It was unbelievable. You can jump into a turret. You used to be able to fire weapons. I'm not sure if they removed that or not. But oh, by the way, if you stay too long in the Javelin, bring up the next slide. Thanks. I did because I want. Let's see what happens. I did, and so I went to jail with a C2, and that was my prison sentence. So, just if you want to try it, don't bother. They tell you to get off the ship.
When they say exit the ship, it's time to exit the ship. Yeah, they
they're
do
a little
mean
bit better. They did say they tweaked it a little bit from the original ones to give a little more time, a little more boisterous announcement, get the hell off the damn ship. But so be it.
I will say this, that I do appreciate, and I'm excited about CIG's use of the in-game screens at the various spaceports that will display, you know, where the ship is, where
Yes.
it's moving to, how much time is left. Last night when I looked, it looks like that they're keeping it in one spot for at least an hour to allow people who are, you know, who spawn in at various points the opportunity to fly to that point and go and see it, because let's face it, about 15 minutes and you're done seeing the Jav. I don't know, Nam, I know you've been have an opportunity to go through. What are your thoughts of the interior?
Much the same as Jolly. It wasn't that impressive, but you know, they probably there's a lot they don't want to give away yet, I'm sure, for other things. But it's and there's still little glitches, like there's this one turret down the bottom, down below the mess decks. You go down the steps, you keep going on down, and there's some NPC in the seat, and he's got like 5-foot long arms hanging down to the floor and twitching around. So they still got some issues there. But and they did actually, they do have the guides nearby certain things, and they specifically said that the weapons were made safe. So you couldn't.
Yeah, that was probably the belter contingent that they had for for the turret guy.
I think that was the words they used. They said it had been made safe. So,
yeah, he came over from the Expanse.
There's a schedule that Turing was talking about earlier. They do post it around there. I grabbed this one, I believe, actually on the train.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, the new addition this year, in addition to the Javelin being able to go on, the new addition is the Bengal flyby. So, you know, we've had the fleet coming in before. Last year it was the Idris, the F8s that came in with it. And I don't know who's talking in my ear, but oh my God.
Somebody's breathing heavy.
All right, good. There we go. Last year we had the Idris that came in, the F8s, the flybys, all of them landing at the military ports. This year, what you have is you have the Bengal coming through. I believe it's got an Idris and a Hammerhead in trail. I don't know if the fighters are there or not, but the Bengal is impressive if you see it. If it's coming in the distance, you're thinking, oh, you know, that's not a big ship. I mean, seriously, that's not a big ship. What's the little speck that's right next to it? It's the Hammerhead, dude. I mean, it is a big ship. And I will tell you that it's got a lot of mass, because we were flying by in a C2, and the little fins that come off the back of the C2, we got a little too close, and one of those antenna just sheared the back end of that C2 right on off. And that thing didn't even miss a beat. It just kept right on going. Mm-hmm. I think it's an impressive looking ship. I don't know. So have you had a chance to see it yet?
Yeah, I haven't been able to see it in game, but just from the video and stuff I've seen, it looks fantastic. It's one of the things I really do want to get in and see.
Yeah. I think that landing strip just begs the opportunity to tie it down. Josh, what are you thinking about the Bengal?
So I have not got to see it in game. I did get to see the Javelin. And I want a little sidetrack story here. A couple of years ago, when I was in high school, I was being recruited, and I had a Navy recruiter come talk to me, and he told me that I should be on an aircraft carrier. And he said I should be on an aircraft carrier because they have bowling alleys, right? This was what he told me. And when I went into the Javelin and I saw that they had one air hockey thing and like 6 video games for the entire crew and the entire ship, I now understood the reality of the lie. So I'll thank CIG for bringing a memory back up and making me realize how much of a lie the Navy recruiter gave me, because we're never going to get to use them and there wasn't enough anyways.
Not to mention the fact that you're bowling on the open seas, but I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. all the other issues that go with it.
I want to point out that video we saw was from Kaladin Stormblessed. Thank you. I stole it from you to put it on this show. So Kaladin, good work on that one. Yes, it's a very impressive ship. I'm glad they changed around initially when it came out for us to look at. People were attacking it. As far as I know, no one was able to destroy the damn thing. Ended up losing in the end. I think CI then nerfed or improved it quite a bit. And I watched a good fight, about 5 or 6 guys trying to take it down. They all blew up as I stood afar watching the darn thing waste them away. And I was like, oh, good on you. So I was
I mean, if
happy
there's
with
one
that.
thing you can count on with this community, anytime a new cap ship shows up, someone's going to try and kill
I
it.
gotta blow
Someone's
it
going to try and
up.
steal it.
Were they engaging with turrets?
Well, the last Invictus, they had a guy took an 890 and rammed the Idris above. I think it was above our corp. I saw that one.
yeah.
You
I
know,
think they broke it in half.
It broke it in half. You know, this time you're not doing that. Now, what do you think about the Bengal?
I love it. And just a quick thing to it is being basically indestructible right now. That's a good thing because right now this is for new people coming in to get a look at the game and all that and to show this stuff off. And coming in just because the server's crashing because people are spamming the big new capital ship. That's just not fun for anybody but the idiots doing the ramming. So I'm glad they did that. It's a beautiful ship. On a different event, those antennae are razor sharp. I watched an MSR do a little flyby, and he just happened to hit him. He just split right in half, nice and clean, like you were cutting bread.
Yeah.
And
it goes out there with a Idris escort along with 2 hammerheads and 4 fighters.
Yeah.
And they will destroy you, which is good. I'm happy that's happening.
What kind of fighters were? And there were any F8s
I believe
in there?
there were. No, I didn't see an F8. I believe they were Vanguards.
Okay.
Oh no, I take it back.
Okay.
2 of them were Super Hornets. The other 2 I couldn't quite get close enough. I believe they were Vanguards.
Oh, and you do not get any forgiveness if you accidentally shoot something. I was cycling between in and out of scan mode, and I'd had used the same button for one particular function during scan mode, and I forgot I wasn't in scan mode, and I pulled the trigger, and I shot an escort craft, and you talk about the whole place lighting up immediately.
So you became
And
the
how many
fireworks?
crime stats did you get for that, Nom?
I only got 1 crime stat for hitting him a few times, but that was enough for everybody to light me up, and so. It was only
Off
1
to
crime
jail
stat. If
you
I'd
went.
engaged, I would have got more. But I did go to prison after I got blown up.
So you were the fireworks show?
Yep.
But anyway, appreciation to CIG for working on that, putting that in the game, and showing that it's it is real. The Bengal is real. So back to you, Jay.
Thank you. I like the Bengal. I'm excited to see it in game tomorrow. We're going to be doing a big org mission with we've got probably almost 50 people signed up for it, and I'm really excited about going and checking it out.